Good evening. Welcome to another episode of OmenG's Stupid Scary Stories. Once again, I'll be reading from the book Connecticut Ghost Stories and Legends. Get comfortable. Jeez. God damn it. Connecticut Ghost Stories and Legends by Thomas D'Agostino and Arlene Nicholson. Tonight's tale: Captain Grant's Ghosts. Now, make sure you guys have some hot chocolate with marshmallows. Swiss Miss, delicious. Maybe a hot biscuit, some fried chicken and hot sauce. Whatever you like to eat and snack on when you're listening to stupid, scary stories. Let us begin. Captain Grant's Inn was originally built in Preston in 1754. Records contend that the Whipple family, ancestors of Mrs. Mercy Avery Grant, built it. Grant died at sea at the age of 32 while Mercy lived into her 80s, and the home continued to house 3 generations of the Grant family. During the Revolutionary War, soldiers used the home as a garrison, and during the Civil War, the home protected runaway slaves. Carol and Ted Matsumoto purchased the house while it was in very sad state of decay. It had been used for apartments and fallen into neglect. A major restoration took place from 1994 through 1996 when they added such features as wide-board hardwood floors, 253-year-old hand-hewn beams, and an authentically built 7-foot-wide staircase. The original banister and balusters had been kept in oak barrels for over 100 years until the restoration commenced. Upon ascending the wide staircase, visitors are greeted with a mural of the Pocatucket Cove as it looked in 1825. A 3-story deck built on the home's east side allows guests to experience the rising sun while enjoying their morning cup of coffee. A full country breakfast is served every morning in front of a crackling fire. Today, the inn stands restored to its original grandeur and prominence in this National Historic Village. A few spirits have also been awakened by the restoration. The 7 guest rooms are furnished in period antiques and reproductions. The atmosphere is very cordial, as are the innkeepers. Carol is outgoing and always helpful. Arlene and I stopped in on a winter's day for a chat about ghosts. It seems there is a lot of friendly spirit in the inn, both living and otherwise. This positive energy always draws more of the same, so it is no wonder the mostly unseen residents of the inn are harmless. According to Carol, a police officer once stayed at the inn. In the morning, he commented on how loud Carol and Ted had been while rummaging through the attic in the small hours of the night. Carol then told him that no one had been in the attic due to the fact that there are large planks up there and no one can maneuver around the beams at all. He was sure he had heard heavy footsteps moving from one end to the other. Carol then took him to the attic, where the surprised guest stared at the large piles of wood that lay strewn about the rafters. Neither of them could even advance enough to get into, never mind stomp around the attic. He has been here 5 times since, Carol said amusedly. Many more of the guests have come down in the morning inquiring about the loud tenants above them, and Carol just explains that there are no rooms in the unfinished attic. That is when they realized they had an encounter with a ghost. One of the most compelling accounts was that of an apparition of a little girl. One of the staff members, Amy, was tidying up the rooms. For 3 days in a row, she had encountered the many blinds bent in such a way as if a child were trying to peer through them. For the 3rd time, she walked over to the window and began straightening the blinds. That was when a little girl suddenly materialized right next to her and walked right through her arms. Amy, who was until then a non-believer in the stories at the inn, was so shaken by the incident that she hastily left the house. Her mother Joan was also employed at the inn. Joan is well acquainted with the spirit shenanigans at Captain Grant's. More updates related to Arlene and me were when we returned to the inn in August of 2008. This time we were accompanied by fellow Paranormal United Research Society member Kevin Fay and Greenville paranormal researcher Andrew Lake. Carol related to us that more incidents had taken place since our last visit and gave us some time to perform an investigation. We were also able to venture out into the cemetery located on the property, that in the winter months had been inaccessible due to the deep snow. Of the 7 rooms, the Adelaide room seems to be the most active. Carol said shortly after our first visit, the spirit of a woman had appeared to one of the guests in the Adelaide room. According to the stunned guest, she was wearing a long, old-fashioned dress as she became visible right in front of her, and then within a few moments, vanished. That does not happen all too often, Carol told us, but we do continue to have orbs around here. Lots of them. Several guests have heard walking up and down the hallway. It sounds like more than one person shuffling around. One guess that it may be one or both of the 2 sisters who once occupied the home. They were not on speaking terms with each other, so they partitioned off the large stairways, had the double doors installed in front, and lived on separate sides of the house. In time, this dividing wall was taken down and the house made whole again. This act may have stirred up the sisters' energies, as now they have to endure each other's company within the walls of their former abode. One night there was only 1 room rented, and the quiet solitude was surely going to be a blessing for the guests. That is, until they heard the phantom footsteps passing through the hall. Carol locks the doors when there is only 1 guest room rented, and the driveway and house are outfitted with alarms so they can see or hear if others might be arriving. No one else was here but us. When we have one couple here, like on that particular evening, we will get up and investigate even though we know we are supposedly alone in the house, Carol said. There is a 12-inch high sand doll used as a doorstopper in the Adelaide room that seems to move on its own. The staff and guests never know where the doll is going to end up. The guests who stayed in the Adelaide room the night before our visit told Carol the next morning that the little doll had ended up in the bathroom when they woke up, yet it started out behind the door to the room when they went to bed. Carol chuckled and told them that she has ended up in the Colette room, the Amy room, everywhere in the house. The people staying in the room had come in hopes of experiencing the ghosts of the inn, and they were not disappointed. Having known the story involving the little girl ghost and the staff, they went out and got a small doll to put in the bathroom for the little ghost girl of the manor to play with. Our investigation produced nothing out of the ordinary. We scoured the inn, logging in the equipment's readings and shooting some photos of the places in question. The readings on the EMF meters and thermometers were normal for the time of year. We had really hoped to capture some EVPs and relish in hearing what the ghosts of the inn had to say. Later, when we listened to our vigils recorded in the rooms, we would hear nothing to confirm evidence of the paranormal. We then ventured out to the cemetery behind the house. It was a bit overgrown, but maneuverable to a point. Among the brush and brambles sit the stones of Whipple family members. We continued with our investigation of the site in the graveyard. Arlene and Andrew took photos while Kevin and I attempted to obtain some EVPs from opposite ends of the burying ground. I did not capture anything, but Kevin caught a strange noise on the recorder that sounded like a voice sighing or letting out a note of surprise at his presence. On the recording, Kevin's voice is in the forefront and ours are farther away, as we were all on the other side of the burying yard. It is obvious by the distance in our voices we were not near him, but someone was, and they spoke. With all the ghostly happenings at the inn, one visit just is not going to suffice. Of course, if you stay the night, you might get a visit yourself. Don't worry, the spirits there are not harmful in any way. Just curious as to who is a guest in their home. Not harmful. Not harmful? Ha! That's fucking bullshit. Bullshit! I'll tell you exactly why it's a bunch of shit in a moment. As soon as I get my light a little bit dimmer there. There we go. Now, let me tell you something. I went there thinking that it wasn't gonna be a whole bunch of craziness, just some spirits and shit. The two sisters that don't like each other. Peaceful, quiet, right? Just ghost noises, spirits, and the like. Harmless. Harmless? Immediately upon arriving at the house and taking my guest room, I decided I'll stay in the Adelaide room because they said that's where most of the occurrences of the paranormal happen, right? So that's where I stayed. Just so happened, I was the only one there this night. Now, of course, I have my little friend, Rosamul, with me. I didn't want to leave him home this time, and since they said these were harmful ghosts, harmless, oh, they don't bother you at all. Yeah, that's what Carol told me when she showed me to my room. She said, don't worry about the noise you hear overhead. It's just the ghosts. You can stay in bed. They won't hurt you. I'm like, okay. And like I said, the book, obviously the story I just read you said they were harmless. Harmless. Well, in the middle of the night, I'm sleeping soundly. Everything is going well. It's quiet. I have my EVP recorders on, of course, and cameras and things recording just in case there's anything to see while I'm sleeping. But I'm awoken. How, you say? Well, I'll tell you how. Slapped in my face several fucking times. I woke up swinging my arms around, but there was nobody there. Now, these slaps hurt. They weren't light slaps. They were heavy slaps. Slap, 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 right across my face. Both cheeks. Both cheeks. And I didn't even turn my cheek to be slapped on the other cheek. They just slapped both my cheeks. Repeatedly. Rosamul's in his little jar, laughing his ass off, once again. What the fuck do you find so fucking funny, Rosamul? Huh? What did you see? What did you see? Oh, I saw the sisters. The sisters. Yeah, I had some fun with them. Oh shit, Rosamul, god damn it, what the fuck did you do now? Oh well, let me tell you what I did. This is hilarious. This is hilarious. It's not hilarious. I already know it's not gonna be hilarious. It's never fucking hilarious with you. It's terrible. What did you do? I mean, they separated a whole entire house. I should have known you had something to do with it. Is that why I got slapped? That's exactly why you got slapped. Huh, they're mad at you, buddy. They're mad at you. You should have never brought me here. Oh, God. Oh, let me tell you, right? Back in the day, right? I came into town. I manifested myself as a human. Actually, I possessed one. Guy named Johnny Jimbles. Johnny Jimbles, right? So, here I am, as Johnny Jimbles. I come into town, start wooing the ladies. Eligible bachelor, was a rich guy. Well, he was a rich guy, but I was a rich guy because I was that guy, so I was a rich guy. I come into town, eligible bachelor that I am, spending my cash, flashing around, buying flasks of rum and whiskey, and I'm just having a great old time. You know what I'm saying? And okay, I come in there, right, and they see me, they're like, oh, hi, la la la. They're basically throwing their garters at me. And they want me to go home with them, right? I say, so where does thou live? Hey, they find out, right? So, they bring me home, and I'm talking to the one of the sisters. Not both of the sisters at the same time, just one of them. I get her all wrapped around my finger and shit. She's loving me and everything. I spent like 2 or 3 months there. Quite some time. I say, hey, I'm gonna settle down with you because, I think I love you. Me love something? Yeah, right. It was, this is what happened, right? Anyway, I've got this bitch wrapped around my finger. She loves me to death. So, I figure, hey, perfect time to pull some Rosamul shit. Do what I do. She's in love, hearts just pumping, full of joy and happiness, fulfilled and content. Now it's time for me to do my thing, right? So here's what I did. Her sister, eligible bachelorette that she wasn't married or anything, wasn't really looking for a man. In fact, she even wasn't that interested in me. So I had to pursue her with some effort, with some effort, I had to pursue her. She was honorable. She tried to, refuse my advances. She tried. But I whispered in her ear some shit, said that her sister said some really messed up things about her. And since, I'm a demon and such, I know your deepest, darkest secrets. So I told her about the time that, something happened between her and her sister that only her sister would know. And what happened was, one day, this is why she doesn't really bother with men too much. She gets nervous. She gets real nervous. And one time, she was trying to talk to this boy. I think she was 15 at the time this happened, right? And yeah, she shit herself because she got so nervous. She had some milk and bread and butter. Back then, shit was none of that stuff you get now. It run right through you. She had some of this before she saw the guy. And, he came to her and said, hey. She got really nervous. She shit herself. It was so gross. And the only ones that knew were her and her sister. The guy, luckily for her, didn't find out that she shit herself, but her sister knew. And her sister helped her dispose of the clothing because, back then, you hung your shit outside. It was a nasty shit that she took. So I told her about this shit she took on herself, the 15-year-old. Even though her sister didn't tell me. Didn't matter, because I knew. Anyway, right? So when she hears this, she decides, well, now, because my sister hath broken thy trust, I shall break her trust. So, me and her bumped uglies and shit. Then I went back to her sister shortly after bumping uglies with her. She's like, the perfume that I smell upon you. I said, yeah, it's your sister's. That's right. I got tired of you. I was bored. Your sister's hot. I like her a lot. So, yeah. Think I'm gonna be with your sister now. I'm done with you. And that's that. Now, because all their money is tied up in the house there was nowhere they could go. And so, they basically split the house in half. Like, literally, split it in half. Put a big wall up between the two of them. Didn't speak to each other until, well, they didn't speak to each other at all. They died, mad, and obviously alone, because I had them both so wrapped up around me that when I left, disappeared one night, just slipped out, banged them both the last night. Yeah, that's right, that's what I did. Rasamul, 2 points, in the hole. I would ask, but I'm not going to, because I already know the answer to the question that I was thinking of. That's not the point. So, why are they mad at me? Because you brought me back here. They haven't seen me since, what I did, the little 1-2 thing, bang bang, bow bow, and I bounced. So now, here I am. And they can sense the energy. They know after, they died that it was me, because I came back and told them in their souls that, hey, listen, I was a demon. That guy, John Jimble, that was me. And I fucked your whole life up, made you guys hate each other forever. And now you're still stuck in that loop of hate. As long as you two hate each other, I'll just come back here and fuel up. So thanks for bringing me back here again, because, yeah, I'm getting some of that nice hate energy. And now they're mad at you, so I don't really have much to worry about. I picked up some candles, and I decided I was going to go upstairs, to the top of the stairs, where a lot of times people see the ghost ladies, the sisters, but, separate from each other. When I start to go up the stairs, I see 2 women at the top of the stairs, old-timey clothes and shit. They're looking at me most angrily. They were looking at me, right? I'm a little nervous, because one of them has, like, one of those fireplace poker things, and the other one has one of those bed warmers. It looks like a frying pan with a long handle that you close up, and you put, like, hot coals in it, so you could put it under the blankets, and it warms up the bed. You know what I'm talking about, shit. Anyway, right? So she's holding this thing, and the other one's holding the poker, and they're just looking at me, like, really angry ghost ladies. They start floating down the stairs towards me. I hold my candle up. I say, wait! Hold on now. Hold on. They stop for a hot second. Neither one of them speaks. They just look, Still mad looking. I'm like, listen. I don't have anything to do with what Razamul did to you, alright? I know he's a fucked up dude. Well, demon. Trust me. I've been traveling around with him for quite some time now. Quite a few places. And it seems like every place I go, he's done some really messed up shit to the people. Now, I would tell you that you can get your revenge, but I don't think you can. I really don't. He's a demon. There's not much that you can do now that you're dead, except for move on, ladies. You found out that you were tricked, and now you know that you don't really hate each other. Wow. They still didn't say anything, and they both still looked angry at me. They started floating back towards me and shit. Splashed one of them my blessed oil, but it did nothing because, they weren't evil, which sucked because I had a feeling I was about to catch a ghost ass whooping. And I didn't want that. I mean, they already slapped me up out of my sleep, which was a disturbing experience to say the least. Nobody likes being woken up out their fucking sleep. Who likes that shit? Nobody likes that shit. That shit is terrible. It's like surprises. You could be having a really good dream. You know what I'm saying? And all of a sudden, and then, to find out it's some ghost shit that's happening is even worse. Because now, you can't go back to sleep because it's some ghost shit. And you never know what the ghost shit is next that's going to happen. So you're stuck awake. And, I know what they want to do. So I try to back up because I know my oil doesn't work on them. The only thing I can think of is maybe if I let Razamul out, they'll beat him up instead of me. But that didn't work either. Grabbed the jar and I opened it. Razamul wouldn't come out. He's like, oh no, buddy, this one's all you. Have at it. And he swirled around towards the bottom of the jar, and I put the top back on because I couldn't get him to come out. It's not like I can make him come out. You know what I mean? I can make him go in, but I can't make him come out. Shit. So of course he's stuck in there, just chilling, laughing his fucking ass off. Demon fucking bitch. Can't stand him sometimes. But he's funny. Sometimes. Not all the time. Like this time right now, he's not funny. But sometimes he is funny. But just not this time right now. He's not funny. Because he didn't come out the jar. And he wasn't going to help me with these women. So immediately after him going back in the jar and me closing the top off and being upset about it, they come down the stairs fully. And now one's on one side of me and the other one's on the other side of me. And they're both looking at me really mad. I'm like, is there anything that I can say to either one of you that may get you to change your ghostly minds on whatever it is you have planned at the moment? Still, they said nothing. She swung her fucking bed warmer and hit me with it. Right in the head. Bang! And it hurt like it was an actual bed warmer. Smacked me hard. Pow! I fell to the ground. The other one tried to poke me with the fireplace poker. She missed, thank goodness, because she would have hit me right in the face, would have poked my eye out, more than likely, or at least hurt me something terrible, scar up my beautiful face. But I don't want that to happen. I don't want that to happen. You know what I'm saying? Go home hideous and shit, looking like a monster. Kids screaming and yelling like, oh my god, that's not dad. And if it is dad, you're ugly as fuck. Get out, please. Terrible, hideous man you are. Move away from us. Now go. I didn't want that to happen. So I was glad that I moved. So, I roll around and I get back up on my feet. I'm like, listen, ladies, I understand that you're angry. But I have nothing to do with this. Please, just talk to me. Let's work out a deal here. Let's work something out. So one of them finally spoke, right? Why hast thou brought him here? Why? I said, listen, just relax. Put down the fucking bed warmer. Put down the bed warmer. Let's sit down at the table. Let's have a conversation. And I'll explain to you everything that you need to know about why he's with me in the jar, right? Reluctantly, they agreed. You know, they both sat down. And I explained to them everything. Everything. Told them about my investigation days, how I was skeptical that even ghosts existed at one point in time until, you know, I started seeing them and shit. And I told them how I started to believe. And I told them about the Devil's Hop Yard and Satan chasing me around and kicking Satan in the devil balls years before. And then, like, you know, Rosmul being captured by me at Nineveh Falls and blah, 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 and the jar, da, 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 da. Now, after they've heard all this, one of them turns to the other, whispers in her ears some ghost shit. Don't know what they were talking about because they weren't talking loud enough for me to hear them. I said they whispered, right? Yeah, that's what they did. Whispered. You know? So she looks at me. The other one looks at her. She looks back at her friend. Her sister, I mean. They both look at each other, and then they both look at me. They say, you must leave here. Immediately. No more investigating for you at this place, as long as you have that damn Rosmul up with you. In fact, we don't want you here again. You're tainted. You're tainted with his demon presence, and you are no longer welcome. I said, are you guys, like, working together and shit now? Like, you're talking to each other? Yes. I said, well, see, there was some good that came of me coming here with the demon. You now have, you know, reconciled and shit. You can move on with your lives, well, deaths, afterlives, and float away to heaven where you belong and shit. If that's where you belong. Maybe you guys were fucked up and terrible bitches and that's why you're still stuck here. But I'm assuming you weren't. You know what I'm saying? I heard that you guys, like, you know, during the Civil War and shit, you know, helped the slaves and stuff. You know, my ancestors are quite thankful that you guys helped out. So, you know, I don't have any ill will towards you there. But you should go on and pass on. Pass on. Go. They looked at each other once more. And then they started to glow a bright yellow. You know, that light that they shine when they're about to, like, pass on. And then they, you know, disappeared and shit. Went on to the other side of wherever they were going. Probably wherever they were going. I don't know. I'm not going to sit here and speculate that they went to heaven or hell. Shit. They went wherever they went, which was not where they were when I was looking at them. So, you know, I go back into the Adelaide room, lay down and shit. And I'm figuring, well, the rest of this night should be rather uneventful. They were the only spirits that seemed angry. The rest of them are just noisy spirits, right? That's what I'm thinking. And of course, while I'm sitting there, chillaxing on the bed, I hear overhead the noise, the clamoring, the heavy footsteps in the attic. Now, of course, in the stories and the books, it's told that you can't get into the attic. Oh, there's too much stuff in the attic to walk in there. Nonetheless, blah, 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 blah. Lies, lies, lies. When I went up there, I saw nothing but open space. Plenty of space to run around. Plenty of space to jump around in the attic and make a whole bunch of motherfucking noise. Plenty of it! And when I went up there, you know what I found? Nothing. That's what I found. There was nothing up there. It's just an empty attic. Like, this is some crazy shit. Where's all this noise coming from, goddammit? Why are you so noisy, ghosts? Quiet it down. I'm trying to get some fucking sleep. Fucketh you. Excuse me? You heard what I said. I heard what you said, but I don't know who the fuck you're talking to, buddy. I'm talking to you. Shut it the fucketh up. Your loudness and boisterous noise is unneeded here. Shut your mouth. Go back downstairs to the room that you came from and shut your face. Sleep upon your bed and bother us not anymore. Damn you! Hold up a second here, ghost, that I can't see but I can hear. Who the fuck do you think you're fucking talking to, buddy? Do you know who I am? I'm Reese. Ghost hunting, demon killing, master of paranormal stuff. Supernatural things. I'll make you show yourself. Show yourself! When I yelled that, he showed himself. He was an ugly guy. Like, real pale looking, gangly, skinny and shit. Boils on his face. Hunched over. How do thou like it? I told you to get out. Go back downstairs to your room. He pointed his feeble hand at me, his crooked finger. It's like he was trying to touch me. Kept getting closer, closer to my face. I smacked at it, but it was a ghost hand, so I went through it. I was getting a little nervous now. Because I'm wondering, what the fuck is he trying to touch me for, huh? Is he gonna make me look like him, all boiled up and nasty and shit? And like I said, if I were to go home all like unattractively ugly and hideous and shit, my kids are gonna say some crazy ass shit. Not to mention, oh well, guess what? The wife's just not gonna have me around for very much longer after that. You know what I'm saying? Shit. Like, that's not my husband. I don't know who that man is. Please, please, come get him. There's a strange man in my house. She's hideous and ugly. So I couldn't let that happen. I wasn't about to let that happen. So I say, hold on. Wait, before you go touching me with your fucking jagged finger and shit. Why are you even up here? And what the fuck are you yelling at me for? Talking about me making noise. You were the one banging around up here and shit. Woke me up. I was sleeping. You know, first the sister slapped me out of my sleep. Woke up, sent them back to wherever they were supposed to be going to. And I heard you, when I laid back down, was chillaxing and shit. Clamoring about up here, making all types of noise. Stomping and shit like you're mad about something. I am mad! Mad about what? Do you see the look upon my face? I don't really want to look upon your face because you're fucking ugly as shit. What the fuck happened to you? I was born this way. Locked in this attic. Kept here. Fed scraps. Scraps, I say. Not even good enough for the dog, they said. I lived my life here. For years. Years, I say. Years. They locked me here and wouldn't let me out. My mother wouldn't even kiss me. As soon as I was born, they stuck me in this attic. Slid bottles in under the door. They didn't have bottles back then. Shut your face! You don't know what we had. I was like, you're not an old-time ghost, are you? No, I'm not. Then why are you talking like that? Because I can! Okay, shit, damn. It feels better this way. Shit. Fuck you, man. Fuck me? Why fuck me? Like, really, what is your story? Were you really locked in here and shit? Like, how did you get in here? No, I wasn't really locked in here, goddammit. I'll tell you what happened. Okay, what happened? I was out in the town. It was maybe 20 years ago. 20 years ago? That recent? Yes, that recent. I was, investigating this place. Like a lot of people come here to do. I came in the attic. And some fucking demon. Demon. Oh, wow. Yeah, some demon, right? Told me, well, he wasn't a demon looking at the time. He looked like a regular guy. Well, actually a girl, hot girl. She was hot. Oh, God, she was smoking hot. That's not the point. She said to me, hey, listen, I'm a ghost hunter too. Why don't we do a little seance in the attic? Blah, 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 blah. Right? You know what I'm saying? And I fell for it because, she was hot. I told you, she was smoking. Oh, she's so beautiful. And, I was thinking to myself, I'm an attractive young guy. Why not? Why not? Have a nice little investigation in the attic. We're at a bed and breakfast. Why not? Enjoy ourselves. Right? So I go up there with her. Right? She's like, oh, don't try anything funny. Laughing and shit. Like, thinking to myself, why would she even say something like that unless she was thinking of doing something funny herself? You know what I mean? Yeah, I guess I know what you mean. Why don't you just get on with the story and stop, dragging it on? What the fuck happened? All right, what happened was this, right? I go up there with her. We're sitting down, break out the Ouija board, right? Break out the Ouija board. Never mind, I'm not even gonna ask. I already know what dumb shit happened to you. I'm quite sure I know. You guys fucking summoned some shit, came out the Ouija board, and you guys didn't close it properly. No, that's not what happened at all. We never got to do anything with the Ouija board. Oh, really? So then what happened? The bitch was a fucking demon. All of a sudden, she melted down to nothing, and this demon was standing there. Looked like a cloud of black smoke. Cloud of black smoke? Did it happen to say its name by any chance? Yeah, he did say his name. It was fucking, Rosimul. Anyway, this Rosimul demon thing tricked me into the attic. He starts fucking doing demon stuff to me. Demon stuff? Yeah, demon stuff. I don't want to get into it. It was terrible and horrible. And I don't want to get into it. Okay, so how did you get stuck here in the fucking attic, all ugly and shit? Can you get to that part of your story sometime within the next few fucking minutes? Because I'm actually kind of bored up here now that I know that you're not some old-timey fucking ghost, and you're some goddamn ghost hunter that got stuck up here, tricked by a fucking demon, and apparently made to look ugly and shit. Yeah, it's pretty much, the gist of it. Binded my soul to this place, and I'm stuck here. The only way I can leave from here is if I see this demon again. At least that's what he told me. And the next time he sees me, he'll let me go. Oh, really? That's what he told you? Yeah, it's been a while, man. It's been a long time. Like I told you, it's like 20 years I've been up here. 20 fucking years. And he hasn't been back. And you actually believed this demon after he fucking tricked you into the attic in the first place. Like, you really believed he was gonna come back and like let you go free? Yeah, well, optimism, thoughts. Yeah, it should be a little more realistic and stuff. Yeah. Lucky for you, I just so happen to know Rosimul. You know him? Yeah, we're pretty close. Pretty close. So can you get him to let me the fuck out of here? Let me go? I can try. I'm not sure if he's going to do it, but I sure can try. Hold on, you stay right here. I can't leave here anyway. Well, do me a favor, all right? While you're up here, can you like not make so much fucking noise? Shit, aren't you coming right back? I'm gonna take a fucking nap first, then I'll be back. I'm fucking tired. I've been getting woken up by you fucking dumbass ghosts all fucking night. And this is supposed to be a resting in beautiful scenery and shit. Nice, comfortable shit. I haven't been comfortable all goddamn night. I'll see you when I'm done napping. I went downstairs, laid down, talked to Rosimul about this guy. He laughs his ass off, tells me a short story about what he did to him, yada yada yada, tricked him into going upstairs. You know, just like what the guy told me. He's like, yeah, good old Dennis. He thought he was getting some fine ass. He didn't get anything. I made that son of a bitch uglier than Quasimodo from fucking Notre Dame. Yeah, he is fucking hideous. Anyway, Rosimul, after I'm done taking my nap, I'm gonna bring you up there, and you're gonna like, you know, set him free and shit, so he can go on about his fucking way. I'm not doing that. What do you mean you're not doing that? I can't do it. I'm not at full demon power anymore. I'm a demon in a jar. He's asked the fuck out. There's nothing I can do for him at all. Nothing at all. Not a damn thing. You would just be saying that simply because, you know, you're an asshole and you don't want to do anything. So you're just telling me that you can't do anything, but you can do something. Nope, actually I can't. I'm being 100% serious. I can't do shit. You got me in this jar. Yeah. Binded me to it. I don't have the power of sending things anywhere but around me. And that's about it, unless you want to put him in the jar here with me, which would be kind of cool because then I could just torment the fuck out of him and suck up his energy all day. Be like a traveling snack. Ha ha ha! No, we're not doing that. In fact, I'm gonna take a nap and then we can leave. You just have to sit there and be stuck in the attic. I guess he kind of deserves what he gets. Thinking he was gonna get some ass from a ghost hunter in an attic of a fucking old-timey inn. What a gross dude. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. That's kind of why I tricked him and did that to him. I guess I can see it. Well, Rosamo, I'm getting some sleep. Try not to make too much noise. And if you hear that douchebag up there making a whole bunch of fucking noise and I'm not awake, don't wake me up. Because I don't want to wake up. And when we wake up, or when I wake up in the morning, we're getting the fuck out of here because this place is fucking boring. I was expecting a whole hell of a lot more with all the spirits that said it's supposed to be here and it's so, yeah, it's haunting, blah, 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 blah. Nothing. I'm quite disturbed by this. Went to sleep. Woke up in the morning, had a full breakfast like they promised. Looked at Carol, told her my experiences in the house with this ghost and shit. I said, yeah, you have a ghost in the damn attic. That's not from like colonial times and shit. It's like from 20 years ago. Some ghost hunter, I guess, went missing. You know anything about that? No, not that I can recall. Nothing about two ghost hunters here, male, female, never came back out of the attic. They must have snuck in. We have a lot of that happen sometimes. You know, people don't want to pay to stay, and they'll just sneak in, and then sometimes, you know, they'll sneak out and we'll catch them, but nope, don't remember any guy or girl going missing 20 years ago. Oh, well. Thank you for the breakfast. Your ghosts are loud and obnoxious. One of them slapped me, so that whole harmless thing, you should stop saying that. You should stop saying that. They smacked me. I should ask for my money back. Hurt my face. Woke me right up out of my sleep. Woke me right up out of my sleep. Oh well, sorry, no refunds. Nah, I left. Chalked this one up to... it was okay. There was activity, so I did see some ghosts and shit. I was expecting a little bit more. And I was a little disappointed that they were harmful and not harmless. And that dude was ugly. Ugh. Anyway, the moral of today's story, if there is such a thing, such a stupid ass story, you stay at bed and breakfasts, that are supposed to be haunted and shit, and they tell you they're harmless, don't always believe the hype. You know, you never know what kind of energy you might be bringing to a particular location. If you're anxious, you might make them anxious. And, you know, if you bring a demon in a jar that has something to do with their demise or some pain that they suffered in the end of their life, well, you might just bring something upon yourself then too. So, yeah, don't go to bed and breakfasts that are haunted with a demon in a jar. And don't believe everything you hear, because sometimes it's not true. Thank you for joining me for tonight's Stupid Scary Story. Have a good evening.